So it said, Auntie, just like Om has 4 parts,
हाँ,
A,
हाँ, for
U,
meditation.
and the pause is the
Yes,
most critical.
is the fourth part. हाँ,
The 4th part is the pause
yeah, the pause between the two ohms.
between the 2 Oms. There are 4 states of consciousness, right?
Yes, yes,
And that's what each path stands for. The first is the wakeful state, which is the Jagrata, which is, you know, we all know what the wakeful state is because it's,
yes,
then in this state, you're kind of using all your senses, you're functioning in the way most human beings do. The second state of consciousness is the dream state, which is the swapna, when you are dreaming.
yeah,
In swapna, the mind constructs a dream from all the inputs it has received from the material world in the waking state and all the actions and desires that have left their impressions on it. The body certainly believed in the dream. It happens to all of us, doesn't it? Sometimes we wake up with a sweat or startled.
yes,
So our body
yes.
definitely believes.
Hi,
in the
Nandita. Sorry.
That's all right. Hi, and that's the way it would in a conscious scenario, right? Sometimes we see a bad dream and wake up. We are sweating, we are stressed, just like we would in real life. The third state is it's called Shushupati, and it's the state of deep sleep.
Yes,
This is the Atma, the Prajna, the knowing one. You can actually get there if through chanting Om as well. All distinction vanishes, it says, when the self doesn't see itself as I. It cannot see the other as different, as you. As I merges into you, so does subject merge into object, the seer into the seen, and this into that, until at last there is only one.
Om.
And then the tragedy is that when the sleeper returns to the waking state, he instantly returns to being a Vaishnavara, which is the first state, fed by all his senses, seeing separateness everywhere instead of oneness, and experiencing as a result pain, grief, anger, fear, hate. So basically, he first explains this and then says the fourth state of consciousness is simply called the fourth or Turiya. So there is no other way to describe it. It is neither outward nor inward. It is not a mass of consciousness like the deep state, but it is also not non-consciousness either. It is something indescribable, unnameable, invisible. You cannot engage with it or speak of it or claim any relationship to it, because a relationship can only exist between two different things, and Turiya contains everything inside of itself.
Yes.
But it abides in you, a silent witness to your every action, every word, every thought.
Yes.
It is your Atma in this blessed fourth state of Turiya, which is the pause between two Oms when you are in deep meditation, that is the enjoyer of all that you experience in all the other three states of consciousness. For Turiya is inside each one of them and yet in none of them.
So Anshuman, this was lovely. And thank you very, very much. And thank you for making it something so special. Seriously, I knew it would be with you.
I'm so happy I could be with you.
Yes, there's Sushil. You know him, Dhaya.
Hello, sire.
Hi.
I'm of a man, isn't he? I love him.
Yeah, he's an amazing man. And please keep up with this, and please keep telling me when we meet about all the wonderful things that you're reading. I think you are amazing.
Thank you,
I
Auntie.
really think you are. And Sierra, a big hug to you.
She'll be happy. She's just waking up.
Yeah. This is your tea time to meet her, and you're sitting and talking to me.
No, it's not yet. She's
No?
woken up all day. The tea time, remember, is between 5 and 6.
Okay. So where exactly is she? Where's Sierra?
She's at North Carolina right now. She's
That's his
uh,
girlfriend, guys. So they make
and
tea together in their
she make,
different cities in
make,
the
she
world.
make my evening tea. Thank
Yeah,
you, Ibrahim.
thank you, Anshuman, for a lovely session. Thank you, Nandinii, for such a brilliant session. Thank you, Anshuman. That was so meaningful, and yeah, I got to learn so much too. So should we chant a little Om?
It's all of your blessings, Aunt.
Oh, always. Always.
It is so nice to see you, sir. Even though I can't see you, I can see a picture. I can imagine you, how you must be right now.
Yeah, even I can imagine him. Do you know he was in college with my brother, who is no more. And yeah, and we did.
Sorry, I got a call and now I can't hear you.
Oh, you got a call?
No, I disconnected the call, but for some reason I can't hear you now.
Maybe you've taken off the sound.
Yeah, something's wrong.
But I can hear you. So should I re-add you?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. I can hear you.
You can?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You want to reconnect? We can reconnect, or I can see you again sometime soon.
Should we do that? You want to reconnect? You want to answer
reconnect.
questions?
Okay.
Just answer questions. 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, can you hear me now?
I have no clue.
Okay, I'm going to take you off and then you add me again. You add yourself again. Yeah, so I'm waiting. Thanks, Anshuman, for sharing your. So, yes, Sushil, it's lovely to see all of you. And as I was saying before, let me see when Anshuman is. As I was saying before, I will, once he comes, I will do a series on meditation, waiting for him. I will do a series, but like short. We'll do like a 10-minute thing or a 15-minute where you can ask questions and then we'll sit for 5 minutes at the end. I'll announce that. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Auntie. Yeah.
Yay! Okay.
Yeah.
So, tell me. So Sierra's there in North Carolina.
She's in North Carolina at this place called Yadkinville, which I didn't know is a place till I met her. It sounds like a cow, doesn't it?
Yeah. No,
I had a cow, Yadkin. It's a nice name, I feel. Yadkin.
Yeah. Yadkin is a lovely name. Or even a little pet. She was supposed to do?
Go on her trail. When she met you, remember she was telling you about...
Yes.
80 or 2,500 miles. That got cancelled because it's really bad in the US. And so that it's pretty much... Auntie, there was something else which I learned only today.
Yes.
If you want me to just briefly speak about it.
Yes.
It was about Karna in the Mahabharata.
Okay.
And how actually, let me tell you about Eklavya, because there's a big misconception which has got cleared for me today.
Okay, but 1 second, let me see the time, because I have time. 15 minutes.
5 minutes. It's about Eklavya. You know, there's this huge, and I believed in it till this morning, till I read the reality, and I was like, oh my God, what wrong piece of information. Again, what my mother used to always say. We've been told that Eklavya went to Dronacharya and Dronacharya refused to teach him, right?
Yes.
Always been this upheaval and this angst about how Eklavya, because he was from a lesser caste, which is why he was not taught, and how it was wrong for him to give his thumb away. And it was so wrong of Dronacharya to ask him for his thumb. Today I learned what the reality is, which changes my perspective completely, which is that firstly, Eklavya wasn't, he was from a community called the Nishad community, which in those times were the rebels, much like the terrorists today. So their whole idea was power. They didn't want knowledge for the sake of knowledge. They wanted knowledge to gain power.
Ah.
Okay, so now when Eklavya went to Dronacharya and begged him to teach, Dronacharya said, my hands are full, I cannot take another student. Now, if you want any teacher and really respect a teacher and the teacher says no, you listen to that teacher, right?
Yes,
You
yes.
can't gun someone's head and force him to teach you, right?
Yeah.
What did Eklavya do? He went, he built a statue, and he force taught himself through Dronacharya. So he was firstly wrong to do that to begin with, because the human being
Yeah.
has said no, right?
No. So you listen to him if he's your
Correct. If you
guru.
consider him your teacher, but then he didn't consider him a teacher because his whole trip was power. The second thing, and the more fascinating thing was, I'm sure you've heard of it, the dog with the 7 arrows. There was a dog barking nearby in the jungle. Eklavya was practicing and he was getting irritated. So he shot 7 arrows so
Yes.
expert that it didn't kill the dog, but it stopped him from barking. And then the dog roamed his life in the jungles with the arrows in his mouth. Now, I think that is terrible. Firstly,
It is.
It's wrong.
It is. It's gross.
To use your power, which tells us a lot about Eklavya, by the way, that just because a dog was irritating him, he decided to shut his mouth using his skills of archery. So the reason, and Dronacharya saw this, and he realized that this boy is going to be a cause of concern because he's going to use his skills for everything which is not aligned with dharma. So when he asked for the thumb, he didn't ask him for Arjun's. He was secure of Arjun. Arjun always knew. In the Mahabharata, they've shown us that Arjun is upset. That's why we react to that. That's not how it happened. Arjun in reality was a very peaceful soul, which is why before the Mahabharata, he said, I don't want to fight, which is when Krishna had to write the Gita to convince him to fight.
To convince him to fight and say, everybody's dead anyway, so come on.
Yeah. So Dronacharya asked for the thumb because he didn't want this. It's like weaponizing a terrorist today.
Yeah.
You know, any state, any individual that's weaponizing a terrorist is not doing favor to humanity because it's against the principle of dharma, because that person will cause destruction. So Dronacharya did the world a favor at that time by taking power away from somebody who was only going to use it for his personal benefit. It was not because he was lower caste. It was not because Arjun was insecure. It was none of that. It was because Eklavya, was not worthy because his intentions were coming from a very wrong place.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
That dog up was, I think,
that was pathetic. Horrible.
But it tells you about mindset, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for joining us. Stay safe.